We are going to talk about Chainlink versus Ripple. If you are not a beginner, you would know this comparison makes no sense. if you have been in the space a while and you understand these two assets, I'm comparing them to show how different and complex blockchains really can be. So, with that, let's get over it. Get over to it. So, we have Chainlink, okay? And I'm just going to, in real time, be looking at stuff for you. So Chainlink is it's a lot of things. Here we go. But its main two things, okay, are an Oracle network provider and the CCIP. What CCIP does is it allows tokens to cross between chains. XRP does nothing like this. Interoperability is what this function is called. And essentially, what it does is it allows one user on two different networks through a series of automated smart contracts and transfers to send tokens from one chain to the other. And it automates all of the swaps, everything that you're used to doing manually, it does it for you. And developers can use this protocol, any developer in the world can, to build interoperable solutions, right? XRP has nothing to do with interoperability. Okay, so the biggest thing about Chainlink is its networks that it spins up help things coordinate. It helps other blockchains coordinate specifically. All of Chainlink supports the Ethereum virtual machine, so these are just EVM stuff, meaning Aave, Curve, in the thousands of contracts and apps that sit on top of Ethereum. Chainlink is the Oracle provider for the Ethereum virtual machine, the largest one, okay? Where XRP is a competitor closer to Ethereum. Chainlink could offer its services to XRP, to Ripple Labs, and help Ripple Labs bridge liquidity or tokens or help people make apps that work on both Ethereum and the Ripple ledger, right? Chainlink could be in between those two things and help them work together. So, in no way, shape, or form does Chainlink compete with XRP. XRP is more like, man, they got great SEO. Go to By the way, if you're not going to developer docs, you're really you're really gonna struggle. So let's find if we can get there. Okay. This is exactly how Ethereum works. And we're going to get up some this is going to be a great thing to show you as well. So, since Chainlink and XRP have nothing to do with one another, Chainlink is a legitimate interoperability protocol. If you want to use Link to cross chains, okay, you you got to buy the token. That's why I invest in Link, and that's why I'm so long on Link. Okay, XRP is exactly like Ethereum. You have data that you want to store on chain, and you don't want it in a database owned by Jeff Bezos or Mark Zuckerberg or anyone else. You would publish that data on the Ripple ledger. The the real thing, if you're trying to decide between ETH and XRP, it's going to be about, and I wanna see, XRP is a lot faster. I was hoping that they would just have a little graph for you guys, but I believe in the actual beginning here. So yeah, uh, here we go. And I will say, so TPS is transactions per second. That's roughly the speed of the network. Chainlink's TPS is really metered by the TPS of the network it supports. Ripple is significantly faster. It can do 1,500 transactions per second, where Ethereum's only doing 15 to 30. Although, realistically, if you're on a layer 2 on top of Ethereum, which is this, Layer 2 beat. Great graphic to show you all this thing. Do you see this? These are all of the layer 2s on top of Ethereum. Okay. And their TPS. Oh, I guess that's how they measure it. That's smart. You have some getting 90, 40. So more than what, this result says. But as you can see, XRP is a lot faster than Ethereum. And the biggest takeaway I want you all to have is you can have blockchains that are optimized for specific functions. Chainlink does not help people store data in a decentralized way. Chainlink helps developers create better applications for you and I to interact with. That way, we're not worried about which network are we on, which token am I sending to one or the other. Like, make sure I don't send my, Binance Smart Chain tether to an Ethereum wallet because I will lose my Binance tether. Okay, and worrying about which network you're on and which token you're using and which standards you're using. Chainlink automates all of that. And that's just one side of Chainlink. The other side of it is oracles. And the way oracles work is essentially if I want to build a weather app, okay, and I want everyone to use my crypto weather app, and you report when rain comes down, they give you a token. I don't really know. Let's just say someone out there had a really cool weather idea. Well, for it to work, you're going to need an API or you're going to need data that feeds into an API from the weather. So, like, the Ethereum does not know what, the temperature is in San Francisco, but someone does, a website or a software does. It has that data and it needs to get into this weather app. Chainlink sits in between those two sources, or I guess the source of the weather data and then the client, okay, which is the application. It sits right in the middle like an API, and it just creates a data feed for all of that data. That way you can have real-time weather data on your decentralized application on Ethereum. So Chainlink that has nothing to do with actually supporting a weather app from, oh, I want to run it on Chainlink and, Ethereum, XRP, Avalanche, Solana, Cosmos, Polkadot, none of them, and I mean none of them compete with Chainlink. For another video, I will talk about what competes with Chainlink though. That is Pith, okay? Pith is a newer company that is on the rise, well, newer protocol that is on the rise, and I think it has a lot of potential to challenge Chainlink in this space, mainly in all of the newer generation of blockchains. It's going to be Solana, Sui, Say, Aptos. Pith has a lot more integrations, but all for another video. What I want you to understand is blockchains can be very different and they all offer something unique that could be valuable in the future. So you have to ask yourself, is this something that you see growing in the future or something contracting, getting less popular? And it's that simple. And then be patient and keep your wits about you. Stick to the plan, baby. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take care of one another.